Sports lovers all over the world, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to Redeem Sports at the King's Palace Television, where we are reviewing Qatar 2022 World Cup, the top place match, and the final match. It's been great in Qatar in the last almost 1 month now. We've been here bringing you reviews and shows and different things over this period, and this is going to be hot, it's going to be spicy, as we review the top place match and the final match. My name is Tunde Badru. I am your host. My co-host is not changed. It's not going to change anytime soon. And I have with me in the studio Dimeji Oladele. The World Cup in Qatar has been full of suspense and excitement and drama of different types, politics, name it. But now we're in the final phase. I mean, the big boys are set to go. The small boys, so to speak, are all back. What has it been for you, Qatar 2022?
You know, Tunde, you really said something great. You said hot and spicy. Not McDonald's here. It's been really hot and spicy. For me, honestly, it's just being bittersweet. And when I say bittersweet, it's France and Morocco. So I'm not going to go into my personal preference, but then really it's being bittersweet for me. But it's been a great run, and for those of you that have journeyed through this series with us, thank you very, very much. As you can see, I'm not donning any of those sports gears. This is 168 hours of praise. Same channel, December the 24th from 10 p.m. to January the 31st. Till
December 31st, image. Absolutely.
At 10 p.m. So please join us, the same channel, the same platform you're watching us on. We're going to be live. That's right after the World Cup is done, 168 hours starts.
Of course, I'm never here, as you know, alone with Dimeji. We always have sports analysts, and you know, in the studio we have for the very first time a man that I used to dribble so much in the soccer field, and I've not seen him in a long time. I thought I'd dribble him out of Houston. When I saw him, I said, "Wow, you are back here." Yemi, you are welcome to the studio, and it's great having you for the first time at the Redeem Sports and RCCG Palace Television. How's it been? Long time.
I don't know what you want me to say to that. I have never been introduced like this ever. But yeah, thank you very much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. And Tuna Lamero is a regular face here. He's the usual suspect, always in the studio with us. I don't fail to remind him or console him that his famous Super Eagles team is not in the World Cup. Hopefully, the next World Cup, Super Eagles will feature. But today, always nice to have you in the studio.
Thank you, Tony.
All right. A man who played in Qatar so many years ago, he told me that when he was playing in Qatar, you didn't need any stove to fry egg. At least in summer, you just cut it, palm, you fry the egg. We call him Katanga in his playing days, means with tall wall. We call him Alan Ball. We call him many names. He's here in the studio with us, Coach Ade. You're welcome.
It's my pleasure.
All right. Before we dive into the analysis, viewers, we're going to take a short commercial. We'll be back shortly. Go nowhere.
Join millions of thankful hearts as we celebrate, jubilate, and appreciate God for all He's done in 168 hours of non-stop victorious super mega praise and worship in diverse languages with diverse dance steps from diverse races worshiping Jesus Christ the Lord. You are invited to experience the best of praise, worship, and thanksgiving as we wrap up this year with 168 hours of praise running 24 hours for 7 days non-stop from December 24th at 10 p.m. to December 31st at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. This event shall feature several anointed worship leaders and gospel artists from different regions of the world, featuring Pastor Hope David, Gabriel Aziashi, Tunde Alameru, Ranti Awana, Pastor Iti Denise, Adeshla Oguntameng, Funke Akinakun, Femi Micah, Sandra Martins, Ronke Adeshakan, the TKP Orchestra, Jesutome Olufua, the Kingdom Voices, Bidame Oladele, Buki Alameru, Rosemary Orisomenabo, Usolo Ujai, Stacey Egbo, Inko Famwiwa, Tommy Favored, and Peter Adeshola and Shay Yalis on sax. This is an outstanding yearly event with physical location at the main auditorium of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, the King's Palace, located at 5371 East 5th Street, Katy, Texas, 77493. You can join the event virtually as we will be streaming via multiple social media platforms. You can also join us by visiting any of our viewing centers or even start your own watch party anywhere all over the world. If you have interest in hosting a viewing center or wanting to start a watch party for any segment of the event, please send an email to info@168hoursofpraise.org. For more information, please visit www.168hoursofpraise.org. Get ready, and let's come together to experience another session of divine glory and bliss. Jesus is Lord.
You are welcome back, viewers. And it's Qatar 2022 once again. We are the Redeem Sports at our associated King's Palace Television. We are going to dive straight into the reviews of the top place match and the final match in the Qatar 2022 World Cup. And I'm going to start with our usual guest here, Tony Alamero. The last show, we actually discussed about the possibility of having Morocco in the last four. And I remember you are one of the analysts then that gave a chance that Morocco might make it through. Now it happened. Of course, they lost out in that semi-final to highly rated France in that 2-0 loss. But hey, they're in the last four. They have a chance to go for the bronze medal. What is it for Africa that we have at least one African nation in the World Cup in the last four? What does that mean to Africa?
Well, I think for me, first, let me say a very big congratulations to Morocco. This is a time when I wish I could change my name to Tunde Alemero Morocco. Tunde Morocco. I think I was telling a group of people that for me, they've won the World Cup, as far as I'm concerned, because they actually made Africa proud. And beyond Africa is the fact that before you even ask anyone what continent do they belong to, you, the name first, Morocco. That's what everybody want to reckon with before you start diving into what continent they're from. So that's really huge for Africa. And I just hope that other African countries are watching, and we hope to see improvement in the next World Cup.
Absolutely. Coach Ali, what do you think? Morocco is in last four. What does that mean to Africa?
What it means to Africa is that I think it's very good stuff for Africa, because my thinking now is that maybe FIFA can add more to African teams coming for next World Cup, because Morocco has made us proud. And I think they've done a good job. Like I said, congratulations to Morocco. I'm proud of them the way they play in the World Cup. They never give up, and they do to the end.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it was, if I remember very well, I think it was Cameroon that was very close to getting to the semi-final way back then, and then we had Ghana missing out in that 2010 encounter. And I think Senegal, in 2002 as well. What is it that Morocco did differently? What does it mean for Africa that now we have at least one in the last four?
I think this is a testament to their league and how well their league is run, for them to have been able to produce this amount of stars. Like most of the players that play there, we know the Hakimis and the guy that plays left back for Bayern Munich, what's his name? Mazraoui. We know them, but nobody knew this about the guy that plays in this Florentina. The bald guy he's not their captain. Was he their captain? He's a midfielder that played. There were two people there in the midfield. The name just jumped off my head now. No, but we're looking at a team that actually played really well. They were the best team, the African team, by far in the competition. The closest team to them was probably Ghana, but they played a brand of ball that I really liked. Moroccans in the past, they're known for their samba type of ball, sexy football, passing here and there. But in this competition, they actually show some skill, both in defense and in attack. This is a testament to how well the league has been run, which has translated to the team itself. And a great job to the coach that coached them too as well.
Absolutely. Well said. Dimeji.
Thank you. Coach, when we started our show, a lot of people overlooked Saudi Arabia, right? Including myself. But fortunately or unfortunately, they beat Argentina to everyone's surprise. And now you see Argentina, that same team that got beat by Saudi Arabia, a really low-rated team, Now Argentina is in the final. How far would you say they have come? Were you surprised that they came from nothing to win the final? And remember, they just beat Croatia 3-0. In your opinion, I mean, what does it look like? I mean, coming from losing the first match to a country like Saudi Arabia to being in the final.
If I start as a player, when you play a first game and something like that happens, it will make your coach and the player to go back on the table and say, listen, this game has come and has gone. So what can we do better? I think that's what Argentina did. I mean, like I said at the beginning, I said there's going to be surprises in World Cup. I said so. But Saudi Arabia has been the same like that. You remember the World Cup they were in when they beat Holland? I think maybe that's 2020 or something like that. They're just like that. But Argentina, on the other way, I can tell you they're an experienced team and they are well composed and they know this has come and they go back and they shovel and put their confidence back. And that's why they can be where they are today. If it is another team, you might see them just go out. Like Spain, Holland did when they came to World Cup. They beat them first game.
It was Spain actually in 2010. They lost their first game.
They lost their first game and they are doing. But Argentina went back and said, listen, this man, and they have a good leader. Messi is a good leader.
Yeah.
And he proved that he's a good leader.
It makes people around him better.
Yeah, make them better.
Thank you, Coach. Yemi, the last time the Argentines were in the final was in 2015, right? And they lost out, obviously. They're coming back. They came back in 2022 to beat, and to get to the finals again. What was the deal breaker here? What did the magic for them?
Okay, so we have to take it back to when they won the last Copa America against Brazil. When they won that competition, there's a huge weight that you saw lifted from the shoulders of Messi. From that time, they've steamrolled through every opposition they've played until they got to the World Cup. A lot of people were saying this thing is for Messi to win. I still pick Argentina. I picked Argentina before the competition started. No, but the best thing that happened to them was that loss against Saudi Arabia. Because what that did for them was now, it brought them down a little bit. It humbled them a little bit. And the coach now had the chance to now say, okay, we've played your way, but now we have to tweak things. There were some tactical changes that happened after the game. We saw this in much of this as 4-3-3. But that changed because now this Papu Gomez that used to start, we now started saying that he's not starting anymore. They brought in Fernandez, 21-year-old guy, to boss that midfield. So now it changed from a 4-3-3 to a 4-4-2. But now they now have a workman-like midfield. Their team right now mirrors the team Atletico Madrid. They are almost the same in their build-up now. So they left that the ball dominating 4-3-3 to a more compact, resilient 4-4-2 diamond. Well, like most of their midfielders are functional players, which means they can play 2 or 3 different positions. So that now frees a guy like Messi to now do whatever he needs to do.
Absolutely.
They removed Martinez and brought in that young guy from Man City.
Yeah, Alvarez.
Yeah. And now he has scored 4 goals. He is the perfect fit to Messi because the legs that Messi don't have, he has. Messi has the brains, he has the bronze, and he has the skill. He now has his perfect bodyguard in the Paul. The Paul will probably walk down with Messi to the restroom if Messi needs to go to the restroom. They say we are looking at a functional team that then just before wanted the ball. Now they don't want the ball. They're free for you to have you have the ball. No, but when we have our chance, we will beat you in moments. Argentina before dominated teams from the beginning to the end. The Argentina team right now, they are now a moment team. That means they dominate you in moments. And then the best thing that happened to them was that defeat. If it wasn't for that defeat, I don't think that they would have gone this far.
Thank you, Ian.
If I might add something to that, you can see that game against Saudi Arabia. The way their defense played, it's not the way they're playing now.
True.
Now, at the first game, they're playing like, okay, we're going to win this game, they move around. But now you can see their best four. They stand there and make sure not to pass them.
True.
Thank you, Coach. To Nelly Miro, was that a good wake-up call? Was that a coincidence? And what have they done differently?
Well, for me, I think Yemi said it all. It's determination. And I always like to go back to the words of wisdom from Tunde. You remember after they lost that game, he made two comparisons. He said, as much as you like to celebrate your quick wins, be careful. And he was referring to Saudi Arabia. And for me, and he also said that even though Argentina, if you think in life, even when you think you're down, with determination, you can be up there again.
Absolutely.
And that's what has happened to Argentina.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I mean, I'll start from here. I mean, in 2018 in Russia, the last four, was France, Croatia, England, Belgium. Now, we've seen France and Croatia back. They must be doing something right.
We have to look at it this way. Look at France. They lost how many players? From their starting lineup, they lost Kante. They lost their left back, Theo Hernandez. They lost Pogba, who is madly crucial to everything they do. They don't have Matuidi anymore that played in the last World Cup. You lost your highest goal scorer.
Benzema.
Presently in form, I'm not talking of, presently in form in Benzema. But you still can make it to the final of this competition.
Yeah.
That tells you a lot about the country and the amount of talent pool they have. And players in form that are performing not just for the country, but also performing for their individual clubs. So now you're looking at that. Croatia now, a lot of people did not know that this was probably Croatia's best team that they've had over the years. You have to take that back till the time they were like till the time probably when they were in of Yugoslavia. This is their main team. This is the best team they've ever assembled. So now this is testament. A lot of people are talking about Modric. Modric had a good game. But one guy that I felt that had the best game for all of them was Brozovic. Their holding midfielder. He played so well in this competition that gave the platform for Modric, the Perisic, Kovacic of this world for them to dominate the games. It is terrible that say this after this World Cup we may not be able to see no team. They may not have this much talent in a team going forward. No, but this is just testament to good coaching, experience, and very technical players. And then just luck, I guess. I don't think this is luck. This is just
Okay. Anything to add to that?
Well, I think this guy's actually stole everything. But I was going to say that.
sorry.
Just to add to what Yemi said. For me, the French team are a crop of young guys.
Yeah.
And any nation that wants to go far now in soccer, you have to. This is something you have to do. They're a crop of young players that have actually played together. I used to be one of those who say the League One is the farmers. What they call it, the farmers' league, but it's not. It's not.
Okay. Coach.
So what I will add into it is that you can see these four teams that were in the semi-final last season. They are Europeans.
No, he's good.
No, let me see, Coach. No, he's gone inside.
Oh, he's gone inside.
So what are we going to do now?
No, just speaking from the his own edit.
Like I said, you can see the four countries that was in last semi-finals.
Oh, Coach.
Okay, the last team, last World Cup are Europeans, and the only one that is not there in this present one is Argentina and Morocco. But you can see the Europeans they use young players, and their development in their country is so super.
Yep.
They can move from one country to another country to play, and they play alike. They develop very good. That's why they dominate the World Cup most of the time, because it's well organized.
Yep.
Not that the talent is better than other countries, but they are well organized, and they focus on the young talent to do the job for them. If Mbappe can be the youngest player to play in last World Cup, and still come back and still dominate, that means their development is very good.
Absolutely. Imagine.
I do have a question. Can I
Sure.
ask that? And my question is to you, since you've traveled, you've seen everything. How is it that France, we can flat out say that Morocco versus France was an African team against another African team? So this, my question is, how is it that France, listen, over the years, have been able to acquire and have so many tactically sound, very gifted African footballers playing for them? Is it because of immigration? What are they doing? How are they nationalizing these players and having
It's so true. It's so true.
You see, what I can tell you is this. You can see England, for example.
Yeah.
You see most of the players in England now is Nigerians or West Africa.
Yeah.
They're in England. The same thing is going to happen later. Put it down. And for France, most of the players that play there, they're from all these French countries.
Okay.
You can see the Moroccans. Let me tell you, the first 15 of them, they're not born in Morocco. They're not born in Morocco. They're born in Spain or France. And they decide to go and play back for their mother's land. And they went to play there and said, listen, that's the only way I can put myself to the wall. So, because most of them will not get to, some of them was invited to play for France or Spain, but they said, no, I want to go and play for my mother's land. And they prove the world that I can still do it, and they get opportunity. That's what the French and English are doing. Most of these people that migrate to their country, the Africans they are gifted, and they polish it and make it nice, and that's why I can see the best of African playing in those countries.
We might see a lot of that in America soon too. But the major,
I think so. And plus, they give you so much opportunity beyond what some African, not all, but what some African nations will do. To Nilimir, a quick question. How has the officiating in Qatar been for you so far, including the use of the VAR? Again, VAR is not new technology, right? And we've seen some calls. Can't remember what game particularly that the VAR call was almost very controversial, right? We've seen women refereeing in the World Cup. It's never happened before. So a lot of new things going on. How have that played out for you? What's your opinion about that?
Well, the major, obviously there has been bad calls in this World Cup for sure, but overall not so bad. I think my concern, and I think I've raised that sometime maybe during the Nations Cup, is the fact that who determines the VAR? If everything lies on the referee, because we've seen cases whereby they should have called for VAR. Like some of the games we saw, African nations versus Europe, we saw games that they should have called for VAR, but they just choose to ignore. So that's one area I think actually needs to be addressed. Can players be allowed to say, oh, please, can we call for VAR for today? Because there are some cases where they were actually agitating for that, but the referee was like, no. And we saw games whereby he called, and I don't want to mention names, but we saw games whereby he called for VAR even when he shouldn't.
Okay.
Give me a jack.
I can help you out with names. Let me help you out with. I think you're a very nice guy. England versus France. That was one of the most controversial refereeing I have seen in a bit. If I'm going to grade the refereeing in this competition, I will give it a C+ at best. Some of the calls have been shocking. Some of the officiating have been good. But is it, now listen, we're talking about VAR. The only time that you can get VAR, listen, is when there's an action within the box. If there's any action away from the box, you have to hear the word from the VAR people that are in one room watching the game. They are the ones that will call on the referee to say, hey man, you blew something wrong. Just hold on a second, let us review this thing. And then if it's something for them to review, they will call the ref to probably look at the screen. for them to be able to see it. I saw a question about the ladies too. I don't think there was any problem with the ladies refereeing the game, to be honest with you. I'm open for that. Provided whoever you put in there to do the job knows how to do the job and have the experience at the highest stage, at the highest level of doing the job without getting overwhelmed. I can't say if some of them were overwhelmed, but we can do with better officiating. But I'm not going to use the officiating excuse to excuse the teams that left the competition. Because all the teams that left the competition because of their own doing.
Correct.
So we can't say VAR or probably the ref mess up any game. If you are out of this competition at this time, you are out of your own doing. So.
Coach Ade, bad could be good, bad could be bad. Female refereeing the World Cup, this is the biggest stage, the baddest stage for soccer, football in the world. Is that good or bad for the game? How's that been to you, especially in this World Cup?
I mean, I have no anything wrong with the women doing World Cup, because the same mistake a female can make, a male can do the mistake.
True.
And let's go to the back. The first time they introduce it is just if the ball pass the goal line. That's the first time they introduce it. It's not about the penalty kicks or in the middle. They just say, okay, when the ball crosses the line, we want to see. But now they start putting into everything now. For me, I mean, like Yemi said, the game has been so good. The referee has been so nice. I mean, because there's no referee that makes somebody to lose the game. He's talking about France and England. Yeah, obviously we can see that, but as a player, you still have to play with the referee.
True.
Even VAR or no VAR, you still have to play with the referee.
True.
Sometimes referee will make mistakes. What are you going to do? The result will stand. So that's why they will tell you as a player, just play with the referee. Leave referee alone and continue your game.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you guys for watching. Still, please don't go anywhere. We're still talking Qatar 2022. The third place match is happening tomorrow, and the final match is happening on Sunday. Don't go anywhere. We're still here at the King's Palace TV. Please stay with us, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, sports lovers, soccer lovers, football lovers. We're talking Qatar 2022 here at the King's Palace TV. Again, we're still here with my co-host Tune Badru, Tune Lemero, Yemi Ajayi, and Coach Adeniro. Coach, what do the Moroccans have to do to beat Croatia to give Africa a good chance, a good opportunity to celebrate. I mean, I know Africans are celebrating right now just because Morocco has an opportunity to tie or to play the third place match. What do they have to do to succeed?
I don't think they have to do anything more than what they've done already, because you can see during the league, before the semi-final, I think they only conceded 1 goal.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also that tells you that they play in their defense and midfield, they are well disciplined. And the only thing they need to do against Croatia is just to play what they know best and not to do extra stuff. They keep the same pattern they play and move forward. What Argentina did to play them, like I said, they make sure their defense did not leave.
Yeah.
So, and Morocco play like that from the beginning. So they just have to keep playing like that and just maybe accelerate more to score a goal quick.
Thank you, Coach. Tunde Meru, is it wishful thinking that Morocco will beat Croatia?
Well, if it's two things. If Morocco is able to score an early goal, there's a likelihood that, because when they remind me of Mourinho when they played.
Yeah, but I'm sure you've noticed in this from the round of 16, the fact that you're the first to score does not really mean anything.
No, with Morocco it means a lot. One of the issues they had against France was that early goal they conceded.
Yes.
That was
the mistake they made.
Yeah.
Yemi Ajayi.
Morocco needs to pray. Just joking. It's two things. One is we have to find out where like all these players are mentally right now. Croatia gave everything to that match that they lost. Where are they right now? Are they mentally defeated to a point where what is third place? You were second in the last competition. Yep. You want to be struggling for third. Most coaches, what they do is they play the guys that have not yet played in the competition to play in the top place, and now that changes everything to them. And this is coming from Croatia, because some of their senior players, they are playing prominent minutes at their main clubs.
Yeah.
Modric has to go back to Real Madrid and dominate midfield because there's Champions League that needs to be done. There's this Perisic that plays for Spurs, negative football, 101. With Conte, he has to run all his lungs. And you think Conte will be happy for Perisic playing in. So again, we have to look at that. Now, this is Morocco. I think Morocco will go into this game wanting to win this just for Africa. So there's that added motivation for them because they've never been here before. There's something, this will be more like a trophy for them.
For them.
The first country in Africa to win the bronze medal at a World Cup. And also, the second thing is this, style-wise, tactical style-wise. Morocco sits back, invite the pressure, then they break on you on the counter. But this, do not be fooled, they can dominate possession. They're a team that actually like to dominate possession. It was due to this new coach that came that made them actually sit back. Croatia, throughout this whole competition, they've dominated possession. So this works well for Morocco. So now Morocco will sit back, Croatia will come upon them. But now the thing is, who is available just for Morocco? Since is out, a lot of players are out. Are they coming back for this competition? If they come back for this competition and everybody stamp acts the way it is, I pick Morocco.
So you pick Morocco?
I pick Croatia.
Wow.
Great.
Awesome. Tunde Meru, I have to start it with you. Top goal scorer chase. Ahead of the semi-final, Mbappe had scored 5 goals and Messi was 4 goals, 1 goal short. But then kicked in that penalty, and then now they are 5-5 head-to-head. The two of them playing the finals. Now, it's a chase not just for the trophy, but also for the top goal scorer award. Of course, behind them is Gerrard from France and Alvarez, I think, and Argentina scoring 4 each. What's going to happen as far as top goal scorer award is looking?
It's a tough one. I wish it's going to be Messi, but it may likely be Mbappe. It doesn't mean that France is going to win. I really want Argentina to win if it's possible. But the thing is that the reason I said it may likely be Mbappe is the fact that Mbappe is I'm a musician and I love music a lot. So, and I've said this oftentimes that Mbappe is a very, very good guitarist. He is very good. And guitarists like to, when they play, they like to shine. Messi is a very good band director. He doesn't have to be the one to score the goal. And that's why he's not a selfish player. So it may be Mbappe, but that doesn't mean that I really don't want France to win this World Cup again.
Wow.
Okay.
Back to back. Come on.
But that makes it special.
Thank you for letting us know.
So that's good. Yemi, I think I'll have to, let you get a go for this. Okay, Mbappe, Messi, top goal scorer.
This is one of those games, and this is one of those questions that can go either way. Now, anybody can.
At this point.
I told you, I said this is the most difficult question I've been asked so far. So this is the deal. It depends on the game and how the game is played. I do see Messi. So listen, if France wins this competition, I'm not putting I'm banking on Giroud to actually bail them out today. Because one thing I've seen with Argentina's defense is they are strong, but they are not that strong. That's probably the weakest section of their team. But the funny thing is, the weakest section of France team too is their defense. So now it's difficult because I'm looking at Julian Alvarez. Do France have anybody in their defense that have the pace to match up with Julian Alvarez? Do France have anybody that can match up with the freedom Messi has on the field to move around? So now I'm looking at that. So that will determine who wins. I'm picking Argentina to win. So I'm picking Messi is due for like a final World Cup final goal. So it's going to be a very, very scrappy match. Both teams play. I'm picking Messi to win.
So Yemi is saying Messi look on.
He has to. Because this is the deal. If Messi wins this World Cup, to me, he cements it as the greatest player to have ever played.
Yeah.
If he does not win this World Cup, now I don't care if he scores. Messi really does not care if he scores. He just wants to win. But he has dominated games, minus the Saudi game. From the next game till this time, he has dominated. So Messi does deserve this World Cup. If all Messi wants right now is to lift that trophy, Messi does not care whoever scores. He just wants to lift so that he can cement. You can't be the best player in the world and go to the World Cup 5 times without winning.
Yeah.
That is just, I can't sit with that. That means, I don't know, I can't call you the best in the world when the world best competition you went in 5 times and won. So that's
all right, Coach. Well, I mean, most of the goals that Messi has scored so far, the 5 goals, I think most of them are,
penalties,
kicks. And but Mbappe has taken on defense, and and the assists have been wonderful. By the way, they have equal assists, so far as well. So who do you see clinching the top goal scorer award, the golden?
Let's just make it simple. I believe Mbappe will score goal. Messi will win the trophy. And Messi, like I said, like they said, Messi don't care about the goals. You can see in Argentina, we have a player that scored 4 goals. Because Messi is one that creates most of the chances for him to score. So Messi will be looking like, listen, I don't care about the goal. You can score a goal, but let me lift the trophy. Because this is, I can say this is going to be his last World Cup.
This is it.
He might come back next World Cup.
I don't think so.
Because the way Messi play, those are the players that they can just come on the bench and come in and play. Because everybody wants to make history.
If he wins this World Cup, he's not coming back.
No, if he said, I don't want to play, but he can still play.
Yes, he can. But
he can still play.
Okay, guys.
I said, Mbappe score goal. Ronaldo, Messi.
But CR7 is
he's done.
All right. Okay. All right.
Let me pick it up from the Messi conversation. There's a huge debate, especially what we just talked about right now. This might be his last World Cup. Coach begs to differ, right? Whether he wins this or not, he still has the opportunity to come to play this elder statesmanship for his team. But let's say there's an 80% chance this is his last World Cup, right? And it's going to affect the way he plays in the finals. Do you think this is so much pressure for him, especially given the fact that he has tried to win multiple times? A player of his caliber, like you said, multiple times.
There's pressure on him, and the pressure on him cannot be explained. It's only the players that have played at the top level, at that level, do just understand what is on him. But the good thing for Messi is he has a team that is built to cater to his flaws. So yes, there's pressure on him. There will be pressure. Why won't there be pressure? It's your 5th World Cup. You've only been to the final once, in which at the final you didn't really play well. So I want to believe that with his type of mind and his type of dominating thinking, he will be thinking about that competition like, man, this is the time for me to right that wrong and for me to come up superior. Messi's imprint on the game will have to be major in this competition.
Awesome.
In this final, because this France team, they have a workman-like midfield, just like Argentina. Messi will have to be on his A game for Argentina to be able to create any chance for them to be able to score.
Great commentary there, Yemi. Tunde Lemiro. Yemi says that Messi has to be in his A game for him to stand the chance of lifting that trophy. Do you think the pressure is going to backfire? Or do you think the pressure is enough motivation for him to go through? Remember, there's a saying, I read a book, not a saying, I think it's by Robert Schuller, tough times never last, but tough people do. Do you think this situation is tough enough for him to show us that he truly is the best player in the world, like some people say?
Well, obviously, like Mia said, Messi is going to be under a lot of pressure, but this will, he's on a revenge mission. The same France took them out of World Cup in Russia.
Yes.
So he's on a revenge mission for this. So I'm sure that the pressure, it's going to be an interesting game because from the kickoff, it's going to be hot throughout the 90 minutes. So it's going to be an interesting game. So Yemi said, like Yemi said, he needs to prove that, for me, either he wins the World Cup or not, he's still the best. That's one. Secondly, the fact that France beat them 4 years ago, 4-3, sent them packing from Russia, then the fact that he wants to also handle that cup. And he's charged up, I think he's charged up for it.
Thank you today. Coach, is the pressure good or bad?
I think for me, the pressure is good for him. You know what? Messi now will have the pressure before the game. When the game starts, the pressure will go because most of the players play around him. They're going to support him to make him get this. It's not him that's going to do it now because everybody knows. I mean, Pelé said it last on his sick bed. They asked him a question: who is the best in the world? Pelé said Messi is the best player ever played this.
So his teammates are actually playing for him.
They're going to play for him.
Oh, yes.
To take the pressure away from him. And he for himself, when he get to the field, he already know what is at stake. Playing 5 times, and he's going to give all he got in this last World Cup.
Okay, well, Coach Ade, you once played in Qatar. What do you think, the fans will be going for? Will that be France or will that be Argentina and the stadium? We're going to have a lot of the Qataris in the stadium. And then their country isn't playing the final. Will that be, Argentina? Will that be France? Who would they be?
Based on the last game they play, you can see a lot of Argentina. I mean, with their uniform. They might not be Argentina, they might be Arab, but I saw a lot of them. And I can bring it back to 2018. I was against Nigeria. I was in the stadium. Yes. It's like Argentina. It's like we're playing Argentina. I mean, they love the game so much that they will travel to anywhere. And I always think that they will support Argentina.
Will that make a difference?
It makes a lot of difference because of the noise and the supporter. When you're playing game, your supporter make a lot of difference when you're playing.
Yes, sir. I think for this question, I think we'll find more supporters for this Argentina simply because I think the world wants to see Messi. I can't find any other reason. I think the world, except for the Messi haters. So I don't know if there's any Messi hater and a Ronaldo lover on this thing. Right? Everybody in the world in their right mind. I have not seen anybody that is anti-Messi right now. Mbappe still has time. Mbappe has already won one. Griezmann won one. All these guys left Messi. This for Messi.
Well, if I can add this to it, let's say if Portugal, Argentina now might be different. Because a lot of people want like Ronaldo also. But for now, I'm telling, like I said, it's Messi.
Okay.
Especially since Mbappe has one.
Mbappe had one. And Mbappe is still young, so he can still come to another thing. But Messi, everybody want, I mean, to me.
4 years he will win that one. I hope this team has ended all the conversations between Ronaldo and
When people debate that, I always tell them no. Messi and Pelé just said it 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so I guess we'll find a different time. He's never gonna go away, I promise you, hear me. But now let's assume that the stadium, 80%, the people in the stadium will be shouting Messi, Argentina. Will that make France bow their head, or will they find some strength from elsewhere?
Well, I don't think it's going to change anything, because if you watch the game France versus Morocco, at some point they were actually booing France. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure it's going to change. It's going to make any difference. Okay. That's my opinion.
Very good.
Tunde Lemire, I'll continue with you. In the history of the World Cup, only 2 countries have won it back-to-back. Italy and Brazil. Mm-hmm. And France has a chance to repeat what they did 4 years ago. I don't think you're the right person to answer this question because you already gave your answer. But let's really be balanced here. There's something about having, for lack of a better choice of word, an incumbent playing again in the World Cup, right? Like you're having France going against Messi's Argentina team. Who do you think is going to lift the trophy? Do you think this is going to be one game to remember for the history of the game? Is this good for the game?
Dimitri, that's a very tough question, I must say. It's gone. I'm just visualizing that game. It's really going to be very tough. But at the end, I think Argentina will have today.
Yeah, we know what you are going to say. So that's fine, and that's okay.
Coach, I'll ask you the same question.
We should have put on Argentina jersey tonight.
For me, I don't think France is going to win it back-to-back. I think Messi is winning it. That's why I say it's not going to happen back-to-back for France.
But there's this sweet story about you coming back to repeat. I mean, if you look at basketball, for example, and Yemi is a huge basketball fan. He can testify. Once you win the first one, you win again, and you win 3 times like Jordan did. It's like that's like the height. That's the euphoria of the game. So why would people hate those that actually try to win it back to back?
I mean, see, it's not that I hate them not to win it, but I'm saying I prefer Argentina to win this time because I want Messi to round up with the trophy.
You can't get it. I said we should have put on Argentina.
I was trying to change their mind.
Okay, so this, in as much as everybody on this table are unanimous with them, we don't know where. He hasn't told us. I can say this, but let me say this. For France to win this, it will mean a lot for France, but it will rely heavily on their players that have been there before and carry that experience. Experience in this time is major. For every country that has repeated, they count on experience plus also the youthfulness of the team. They still have a chunk of the players that played in the last
4 years ago. Yep.
And they have tested the wine of winning. They've tested the champagne of winning. They just understood what it felt like for them that moment when they lifted that trophy. The dances and the songs that was released, worshiping, no worshiping, President N'Golo Kante, Pogba. Like that. So listen, those that were there before tested it and they know the feeling. I don't think you test that thing. I want that feeling too. You don't eat something sweet and then after you're done eating something sweet, you just throw it away, and when you see it again, you run away from it. If you really, really enjoy it, you always want to eat that thing. France can win this competition. If they cannot win the competition, they won't be here.
So it's up to them to lose.
It is up to them to lose. So it's up to them to lose this competition. At this moment in time, they are coming with the advantage because they have players already in the team that have won it before, that won it just a few years ago, and they knew how to get the job done. Half of the players that are playing right now played in the past competition that won it. So this, I don't believe that with the way they've been playing, there's a hunger in them. You watch them play, and then you can see that, man, these people, they still want it. So it will be a very, very tough game.
And there's even a speculation that Brian Kanzema may likely come back, but the coach refused to say anything. Then, like I said earlier, it would be nice for Argentina to win, so that Tunde's, it will be a good story that when you fall, you can write.
Very good
I would like to go to some churches and just listen to the message. They will use Messi. This should just be like Game of Thrones. When Game of Thrones ended, everyone comes.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. So we're almost done, viewers.
Well, before we go to the next segment, I know Tunde Lemer was using a Bible reference. I think he was trying to say that if you fall 7 times, will you rise, right? And that's referring to what's his name, to Argentina. But on Mbappe's side, the scripture says that the path of the righteous shines bright. So just to be balanced here.
Okay. All right, I get that as well. Okay, let's begin to wrap things up. It is an open question. Any one of you can go first. If you are the only one to decide who will be your MVP. 2018 was Madrid. But if you are the only one, nobody else is going to decide the MVP. Who will your MVP be?
I can answer that. Yeah. If Argentina wins, it's Messi. If France wins, it's Griezmann. Griezmann has been their most influential player from the beginning of the competition till now. Everybody mentions Mbappe. Everybody mentions Giroud with the goal. Without Griezmann, I don't think France goes this far. Because Griezmann has taken over his job and the job of Pogba, the creator. He's probably their main creative force. So yes, if France win, Griezmann. If Argentina wins, it's Messi.
All right. Tonight, coach?
I think I support him. If Argentina win, it's going to be Messi. But in France, it will be Griezmann also, because he has worked out a lot for the Argentina, before the France.
Tonight?
No comment.
All right, Tunde, if you have no comment, I'd like to ask all of you, our guests here, at the end of this whole competition on Sunday, once it's over, after all said and done, what would you think will be said of Qatar 2022 in terms of the entertainment, in terms of the style of play, in terms of organization? I know there are a few controversies around it, but what would all three of you say once it's all said and done on Sunday?
I mean, from the comment I've been listening to on the internet, from the players and from the supporters that have been there, they said he has been one of the best. And to add it up, they make it very comfortable for everybody. And the stadium is world class. So, and they put the name of the country on the map. You can't tell me next 10, 20, 30 years where 2022 World Cup is supposed to be. It's Qatar. And Qatar has changed a lot with what they have. They use their words very good. And I can say to me, from on the TV, I can say, it's well presentable to the world.
Thank you, Coach. Yemi?
Probably the best World Cup that I've experienced in my life. With the way the ball is playing, with the unpredictability of the competition, to like the training pitches, till the media, till everything, it's probably the the most organized, best World Cup I have witnessed.
Awesome.
I would tell my children's children about this World Cup.
Thank you. Tunde Lemero.
Yeah, from the quality, it's top notch.
Quality, top notch. Folks, we are about to round off a segment for today, but before I ask Tunde Badru my usual question, our hearts goes out to the U.S. Broadcaster that actually passed away in Qatar. Our prayers are with the family, and please make sure you check your health. For those of you watching, make sure you try to stay in shape as much as you can. Do all you can in your power to leave healthy. But our prayers goes out to the family of the ones that have lost their family members. Tunde Badru, this is my favorite part of the show. You know, there's a saying that says, you know, sometimes it gets darker before midnight, right? Before the day breaks, it gets darker. The darkest before the day breaks. And Messi has gone through a lot to be here. Mbappe, speaking on behalf of his team as well, have gone through a lot to be in the final for the second time in a row. A lot of times, we've talked about pressure in this show, but a lot of times people break under pressure when they're just right there at the nick of it, at the nick of the breakthrough. Because of the pressure, they break. How can we handle such pressure, especially when we're close to it? Like, we've been believing God, for example, for a job opportunity. Now it's on the day of the interview and our hearts are starting to palpitate. We've been believing God for children. We got pregnant. On the day of delivery, we're starting to think negative. How can we prepare for the day of our victory with the pressure around?
And thank you, Demeji. You know, to make me let's settle this once and for all for the record. Because he has not had me said anything about Argentina winning or not winning the cup. Now, my heart, to be honest, you know, really want Argentina to win for all the same sentiments of mercy. I mean, it will be, you know, a good thing to happen. It will be a nice comment for Simon. You know, don't give up. You know, you may not win first time, second time, you may fifth time. You know, and so on and so forth. But I think, you know, France definitely has a better chance. If Argentina wins, I have a strong feeling that it will be penalty shootout. I don't think Argentina will win in 120 minutes. You know, but my heart truly wants Argentina to win, because there are many lessons of encouragement, you know, for people all around the world. If you have been trying and trying, keep trying, and we can say Messi won after five attempts. And so if you have done 3 attempts, keep going, because it might just be the 5th attempt. So that's where I think I want to tell you that. All right. But to the Demeji's question, you know, life is pressure. You know, the pressure comes at different levels. But I think what none of us should do, or anybody at all should do, is to accommodate in discipline. See, in discipline, we make you lose out. I mean, we saw it with Zidane. I've said it on this show before. Yep. You know, in that final match against Italy, it was a lot of, I think it was in 06, it was a lot of pressure, you know, on him. And then it missed it, and it was terrible, you know, exit for him in the World Cup. Eventually, France lost, you know, in the final. So I think while we're under pressure, the temptation is there to do the wrong thing. Moses was under pressure, intense pressure, and God said, speak to the rock. But that pressure got the hold of him, and then bam, he hit the rock 2 times. He didn't get to the promised land. You know, so what I always recommend, and the way I live my life as well, is to stay disciplined when pressure is on. It's difficult, but we have to stay focused on what is important. Stay very disciplined, you know, and then you can absorb, you know, that pressure has to stay disciplined. But if you give discipline away, even if you have the closest chance to win, you will break and still lose.
But why do some people, and I know we have to close the show, but why do some people actually become more disciplined when it looks like they're closer to that goal, they're closer to that breakthrough, as opposed to at the very, very rudimentary stage of their journey to get into that point? Case in point, you start the World Cup and, you're not disciplined, but then you get to the final. You happen by chance to get to the finals, and then you're really disciplined. What do you have to say to people that are not disciplined all through, but by a stroke of luck, they get somewhere in life and all of a sudden they want to pick up being disciplined when it's not a habit?
I think, to be honest, every one of us have a tendency to overrate ourselves, ahead of any challenge, especially when you think you are stronger. I mean, Argentina couldn't have imagined that Saudi Arabia, oh no, not Saudi Arabia. And that's why the Bible says, let him that thinketh he started taking his fall. So we must never overrate ourselves. It doesn't matter, the opposition that we are in. We have to stay consistent, stay focused, and that's the way to do it. It's discipline all the way, whether it's against a small team, whether it's a small challenge, whether it's a big challenge. You can't go wrong when you stay focused and stay disciplined. It is the answer to many, issues of life. I know pressure could get us to the point where we're in discipline, and I also know that when things look easy, we may just get in discipline as well. Either way, whether you are having a great time in your life where everything looks like nice, be careful. People get more accidents in summer, because everything is good. Life is good. I mean, people don't dress well. People, run. Everybody's excited. Bam, you get into problem. When it's winter, you see everybody, you dress properly. You are more disciplined. You don't open your shirt, and so on and so forth. My key word tonight is discipline. It doesn't matter where you are. Whether it's at the beginning or it's at the end, stay disciplined, stay focused. And it's on that note we're going to draw a curtain to this edition, which happens to be the final one, at least in the review of Qatar 2022. Because we are going into the final straight, and I can only wish my, my friends, in particular, good luck. I share your sentiment. I truly, want Argentina to win because of Messi, because it's an additional point on my sermon note. It will be really nice. But like the Meji said earlier on, I will have a lesson note also that you can be very consistent. You've won before. Who says you can't win again?
There you go.
Right? So either way, there will be sermon. Thank you very much, viewers. I want the Meji to tell you how to subscribe and all you need to do to stay connected with us.
Please just stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, all our social media platforms. Please, please, please. We love the fact that you've been following us again. I started the show by inviting you to 168 Hours of Praise. Happens on December the 24th from 10 p.m. running through December the 31st at 10 p.m. This is where you'll receive strength through praise and worship. It does not matter what religion you belong to. Come and worship God. Come and worship God. We're looking forward to seeing you. It's been a great run with this team, especially with my co-host, my pastor, my friend, Pastor Tunde Badru. I really, really appreciate you. Coach has been here several times. Yemi, the first time, certainly not the last. And Tunde Alimeru, a usual suspect, a usual guest on this show. So we really, really do appreciate you. Thank you for going through this ride with us. Any final words from you, Tunde?
Stay disciplined. Until we see you again. Until we come your way again, stay disciplined. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, Coach. Thank you, Yemi.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Join millions of thankful hearts as we celebrate, jubilate, and appreciate God for all He's done in 168 hours of non-stop victorious super mega praise and worship in diverse languages with diverse dance steps from diverse races worshiping Jesus Christ the Lord. You are invited to experience the best of praise, worship, and thanksgiving as we wrap up this year with 168 hours of praise running 24 hours for 7 days non-stop from December 24th at 10 p.m. to December 31st at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. This event shall feature several anointed worship leaders and gospel artists from different regions of the world, featuring Pastor Hope David, Gabriel Aziashi, Tunde Alameru, Ranti Awana, Pastor Iti Denise, Adeshla Oguntameng, Funke Akinakun, Femi Micah, Sandra Martins, Ronke Adeshakan, the TKP Orchestra, Jesutomi Olufua, The Kingdom Voices, Bidame Oladale, Buki Alameru, Rosemary Orisomenabo, Usolo Ajayi, Stacey Egbo, Inko Famwiwa, Tommy Favored, and Peter Adeshala and Shay Alice on sax. This is an outstanding yearly event with physical location at the main auditorium of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, the King's Palace, located at 5371 East 5th Street, Katy, Texas, 77493. You can join the event virtually as we will be streaming via multiple social media platforms. You can also join us by visiting any of our viewing centers or even start your own watch party anywhere all over the world. If you have interest in hosting a viewing center or wanting to start a watch party for any segment of the event, please send an email to info@168hoursofpraise.org. For more information, please visit www.168hoursofpraise.org. Get ready, and let's come together to experience another session of divine glory and bliss. Jesus is Lord.